Yep, my name's Don Geyer. I'm here to present Three Gates. A quick brief history about who we are and where we came from. We're a game studio. We were founded in 2011. We did a lot of work for hire, made some of our own games, and 2 years ago we decided that we wanted to get serious, and we came up with a new, basically, business strategy. And that strategy was we were going to try and work with big partners and make really high-quality games. We had a really good team built, so we sort of went down that path. From that point on, we were making several small products and looking for those different partners. Yeah.
Viktor Mode heter jag. Jag är styrelseordförande i Three Gates. Jag tänkte bara säga några ord om styrelsen. Jag har själv en formell bakgrund inom juridik, men har senare jobbat mer med investeringar, finansiering och affärsutveckling i olika branscher. Vi har Sean Kaupinen som är baserad i Scottsdale i Arizona. Han har en väldigt lång bakgrund inom spelindustrin. Han har jobbat som PR-manager på Ubisoft och han har varit ansvarig för internationell produkt-PR på Sony Online Entertainment och har de senaste åren jobbat mycket med strategisk rådgivning till spelstudios då. Och han har ett fantastiskt nätverk i industrin och har varit väldigt central i de samarbeten som vi har fått till stånd. Vi har Rune Löderup, bakgrund inom corporate finance, involverad i många bolag genom åren. Han var en av grundarna till Maria Bingo som såldes till Unibet. Han är ordförande och en av grundarna till bolaget Goldblue som är på väg till NGM i närtid. Vi har Joakim Dahl som sitter i Göteborg, jobbar med Rolf Lundström på Provobis och jobbar med en investeringslåda som heter Intelligento. Vi har Martin Ekdahl som var en av grundarna och under en period vd i ett bolag som heter Donja Labs som utvecklar en produkt som heter Simplygon. Som är ett 3D-optimeringsverktyg som har använts mycket i spelindustrin. Bolaget såldes i december till Microsoft och för ett större belopp. Och Martin är nu tillgänglig för att hjälpa oss och det är vi väldigt glada för. Och så har vi avslutningsvis Don Geijer, vår vd, som får presentera sig själv.
Mm. Yeah, so my background, when I came out of school in the U.S., I wanted to basically work at Disneyland, work in theme parks, and I worked for a lot of years in entertainment and theme park. I moved to Visby in 2010. I took over the game education there. So my background came from sort of entertainment and then getting into games, and then was working with the game education in Visby as a program director for 7 years before we started the company. Marcus Gazilius, who's our CTO, is basically one of the best art techs in Sweden. He won the Silver Griffin Award for his animated film Shrek about 2009, I think. Tommy Lippinen, working as our database programmer, was also ansvarig for the computer systems at Uppsala for the game education and some of the other programs. And Håkan Mattsson is our studio manager, who basically runs all of our information systems and our game servers and websites. Yep, the ownership. Basically, this is a background of our ownership, but I mean, we're still quite heavily owned from the founders of the company. So you can see that there. We have MotionWorks is a local company in Visby that's a former graphics company, having a large percent. And then as Victor mentioned, Rune, myself, and some of the other founders, Victor and Håkan. All right, So now I'll get on to basically some of the products that we did after we decided to go public in 2016. So we decided to get serious, and during that time we were looking to go out and find a big hit, basically. Try and find a good partner, try and make a lot of money making a big game. So one of the projects, one of the people we're working with is a company called Innovate Sports. They're a startup in Phoenix, and what they're working with is basically bringing charity and video and mobile games together. So they have a platform. They work with M Life, which is MGM Hotels, and a bunch of other larger sports people in the golf industry, and they're trying to put together basically a mobile platform. So we have a contract with them, so we make their games for them. So they're looking to make a portfolio of 2 to 3 games over the next year. We work with a project with a company called B-Spot, which is a new gambling company out of Los Angeles. It's also a startup. Right now, they're basically backed by the Horse Racing Association of America. So what they're trying to do is have legalized mobile gambling. So they have mobile gambling. In the US, it's not legal like it is here in Sweden. So basically, they have a platform where you play games and you can gamble. And right now, we've made one game called Cash Cow for them. And as soon as they get more financing, we could open up and make more games in that portfolio. This year, we released a game called Offensive Combat. Basically, it was an old title that we bought the rights to that was quite popular on Facebook. Right now, we released it on Steam, and the sales have been fairly slow. We're going to be releasing it on Facebook in another month or 2. So we're looking for a new place to get out with that. So it was one of these things we tried to try and get an old title, a well-known brand, and then release it again. All right, so we have Mainstream Fishing. This is a game that we just did a soft release for. This is one of the first games that we started with, and it's basically one of our core brands. So when you do a soft release, you're basically testing the grounds. We did that in September. Right now it has quite good numbers, and so we'll be looking to launch that further with our other products, which I'll explain in a little bit. So this brings us to 8 to Glory. So 8 to Glory is our main game right now. And we basically came around this title. There was a company that was going to make this game, a quite big company for the Pro Bowl riders in the US. They didn't do the job, so we got the call. We fixed the game. And then over the last year or so, we've been in negotiations and finally bought the rights to not only make the mobile game, but the console game for 8 to Glory. So it's one of the things that we're building our success on. Right now, we have just under 1 million downloads. So it's doing quite well. It has about 2,400 new downloads a day. And one of the things we're most proud of is the rating. So if you look, some of the companies that are sort of in the same category, the UFC, FIFA, other mobile games, and we have the highest rating of any of the games on Google Play right now. So we have quite a high rating for that. And this is one of the things that convinced our partners to get down with us. Basically, when we're at 1 million downloads, that puts us in the top 2% of games on mobile. So the last couple of years, we've been working away, trying to work those titles and get it. And then, in my mind, we basically finally found what we've been looking for. So what we're going through right now is we're transitioning from a PC developer, a mobile developer, who's been doing work for hire and working on smaller projects, to a company now that can do major brands on console. And I can tell you why I think this is great and super important for us. It's well known that one of the easiest ways to make money on console is licensed sports titles. A company called Electric Arts, EA, was founded and basically is the 3rd or 4th biggest game company in the world, and they started by making one sports title, John Madden, the American football game. Right now, between John Madden, the football title, and FIFA, they sell 199 million. They sold 199 million units. Even though they have 200 different game titles, 80% of their incomes come from those 2 titles. So this is the other reason I think it's really important for Three Gates to transition from sort of where we were to focus on console games and working with big partners. This chart basically shows where the game incomes come from per platform. As you can see, it's about 30%, 30%, 30%. 30% for console, a little bit more than 30% if you add pads and mobile phones, and 30% on PC. But if you can see, there's 783,000 games available for mobile. So if you pick up your mobile phone right now, you can have an option of you can download 783,000 different games. On Steam, for PC, just on Steam, there's 15,000 games. So there's 15,000 games available. So there's just a lot of competition, a lot of noise out there. If you add all the web browser games, it's 28,000 games. So right now, if you're a customer and you want to play a game, you have an option of 28,000 different games. But when you go over to console, if you can see for PlayStation 4, where it says PS4 there, 1,316, and Xbox One, it's 1,024. So there's only about 1,000 games available total on those console platforms. So basically, you're in a much more elite group, and you're still splitting 1/3 of the money, but there's a lot less games splitting that 1/3 of the money. So just to give an idea of what that number is, what is 33%? Well, the total games industry right in 2016 or 17 was 116 billion, which is up 10% from 2016. The console part of that's just revenue, is 33 billion. But the hard part about having a console game is, even though you're in a much more elite group, even though you have a bigger audience and there's less competition, you have to have a good brand. So almost all console games are, paired with a brand that's either well known or has an audience already there. These are some examples of the brands that are really quite successful now. You have a lot of sports titles and even wrestling on there. So the reason that we're so excited about our title is that we're working with a company called Endeavor. Endeavor is basically a big conglomerate. It's made up of IMG and WME. IMG is a licensing and talent agency. WME is William Morris Entertainment. So basically, they're about 1/3 or 1/4 of all the agents of movies are licensed through them. They have titles, for everything from Ferrari, NASCAR, colleges they license. Euro Cup. It's thousands of licenses. So we have a big company behind us. And what they recently did was, 3 years ago, they bought the UFC. I don't know how many people know about the UFC, but UFC is the MMA fighting championships, and they expanded it from the US to all over the world. It's had over 700% growth in the last 3 years since they bought it, as far as audience. And they also have bought PBR, Pro Bull Riders, which is the game that we're making. So our partner is quite big, and it's one of the reasons that we're going to succeed. So a little bit about who PBR is. I know here in Sweden people don't know, or it's rodeo, it's bull riding, but I think it's best to just show the video.
Is the moment PBR fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's time! With 11 round wins this season, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 138 pounds, the number 3 ranked bull rider in the world, running out of just second World Finals appearance with 4 event wins this season and 3 round wins at this year's World Finals. Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 130 pounds, the 20-year-old riding out of Bullburg, Montana, and the #1 ranked bull rider in the world, Just
I'm a loner, so I'ma hold on.
Anyways, it's easier to just play that than try and explain how big it is there in the US. So anyways, that's a video to try and show how big the sport is getting, which is something I've been not very good at convincing people. But so I have a few slides here to show about what, basically when we took the game license and we started working with Endeavor, we have conferences and they're basically trying to push the whole brand together. So they have a lot of different licenses, and obviously our game is part of the whole picture. It's a small part, but it is part. And then these slides kind of show how that Endeavor is going to be pushing the PBR as a brand over the next year. So one of the things is, they get a lot more press now. It was, ranked Sports League of the Year. This just shows how many events there are. So this is the 2017 schedule. The 2018 schedule has about 3 more events, but it's about the same. So it's about 70 total events just in the US. So that's just the 2 main leagues, not including Brazil or Mexico. It's about 17,000 people per event. So between 2 and 3 million people analog come every year. The other thing is there's a lot of press coverage, and at IMG they own a lot of newspapers like New York Times and have ins into all different kinds of media channels. So basically they've been getting a lot of press coverage, getting people on Dancing with the Stars and all their other channels. And because it's sort of a new takeover, they've been able to sort of take an old school sport and modernize it quite quick. So they have quite a good, digital landscape. So they have a huge department that just works with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to get all those all the riders basically are very active, and they have quite a good system that helps us pump the game as well. This is just a picture of we did a TV commercial for the video game launch that plays on TV in the US after the game. This is just when we were shooting the video, or shooting the commercial. So what Endeavor calls it is this mainstream surge, trying to take PBR into the mainstream. More of the same. So they have got riders on American Ninja, in the cover of Men's Fitness. And then they have quite a few that are doing modeling now. So they have Elle magazine and quite a few other modeling magazines that they represent. Another big thing that was quite interesting, that really boosted the mainstream audience and lowered the age of the target group, was this Netflix show called Fearless. So on Netflix, there's a 6-series show about bullfighting called Fearless that went out. It's got quite good numbers. And as you maybe saw, you have Aerosmith doing the music video. And one of the things that I've been working at, I was just in New York now at a press event. But so the UFC and the Miss Universe pageant and the PBR all work together now. So when we go to press events, they bring UFC fighters and the girls from the Miss Universe pageant, and they're doing a cross-pollination at all the press events. So the World Finals is quite a big event. It's 14 days, believe it or not, in Las Vegas. The main event is the last 6 days. It was completely packed this year. So the sales were up, and they were really surprised after what happened in Las Vegas, but everything went really well. So it's one of their big events, and it's one of the ways they get a lot of TV coverage during those 2 weeks. So this is basically some statistics about engagement between the audience. So this is what percent of the fans that are watching PBR engage with social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It shows that we're ranked pretty high compared to the others. So this is another new thing that's going to happen. It just actually started for 2018. CBS Sports Network is basically in competition with ESPN. But they started their own 24-hour sports network, and PBR is going to be part of that. So there'll be a lot more TV coverage in the U.S. and Brazil. As you can see, there's other titles in there. The PGA is in there. The Masters is in there. So the other kind of good fortune or good luck of the timing of it is their 25th anniversary this year. And that just means they're going to throw a little bit of extra marketing money at PBR in general. And this year's tour is just called the 25th Silver Anniversary. This just shows some of the steady audience growth of actual people who engage at the events or in media or on TV. So almost up to over 25 million people in 2017. So this, it didn't read the numbers. Oh, well. Anyways, this slide, what it shows, if you could read the numbers there, we're basically where we sit with the other major sports. But as of right now, PBR actually has more fans than the NHL or NASCAR in the US. So we've actually, in 2017, overtook them. So we're the 4th largest sport by fan base in the US. So we have this title, we have this game, we have this license, and we're making a console game. And we have what I think is very modest goals. To give some kind of example, you saw NASCAR there. We have about the same size fan base. PBR has a little bit larger fan base, but they sold 9 million units for their console game. Another equivalent is WWE, who the wrestling, who IMG also does licensing for. They sold 8 million units. So our goal is just, for now, is to sell 1 million units, and we think that that's very, very attainable. There's 69 million registered PBR fans, and that's in the US alone. That's not including Brazil, Australia, Canada, Mexico. So I think, for me, I'm super excited to get this game out. I think it's going to be massive boost for Three Gates, and I think it's going to take us up to the next level. This is just a short console video. They're playing at all the events right now, just the teaser for the game. We've just been working with all of our deliveries for Sony and Xbox, so we're looking to deliver it within 3 months. We'll probably set the date. We're timing it with Endeavor, so we'll probably set the date right around in May somewhere when they can feel like they can really boost it in the press.
Ja, så det är spännande saker på gång. Vi kommer nu har börjat här i januari och kommer under början av året att göra flera uppdateringar av de här 2 mobilspelen som Don har pratat om, med fokus på att få igång monetariseringen ordentligt. Nu har vi nästan 1 miljon nedladdningar på A to Glory, mobilspelet, och då ska vi se till att tjäna pengar på det. Sen har vi ju det stora, och det är ju den här lanseringen nu förhoppningsvis i maj. Sen följer vi upp den med 2019-säsongen. Kommer släppas i slutet av året. Nästa år planerar vi att släppa Mainstream Fishing för konsol. Och då kommer också 2020-säsongen för konsolspelet då A to Glory att släppas. Med detta så har vi ett mål att vi ska nå minst 50 miljoner kronor i omsättning med en marginal på minst 50%. För att göra detta så behöver vi tillföra kapital. Vi har haft en svag försäljning från det här spelet Offensive Combat och det är väl det största skälet till att vi behöver mer kapital. Vi har också en svag balansräkning med 2 brygglån på sammanlagt 11 miljoner kronor som vi behöver hantera. För att göra detta så genomför vi tillsammans med GOV en företrädesemission på cirka 18,4 miljoner kronor. Det är 2 nya aktier för varje gammal. Teckningskursen är 7 kronor, vilket ger en pre-money-värdering på ungefär 9,2 miljoner. Vilket vi tycker är alldeles för billigt, men det är ett attraktivt läge att komma in här. Emissionen är säkerställd till 80% av garantier och teckningsförbindelser. Sista dagen för handel med teckningsrätt är 6 februari. Och sen drar vi igång teckningstiden då från 13 februari till 1 mars. Parallellt med det här så gör vi också en kvittningsemission där vi får bort 6,5 miljoner kronor från det här brygglånet på samma villkor som företrädesemissionen, och så kommer resten att betalas tillbaka från emissionslikviden då, så att vi blir helt skuldfria och vi får pengar i kassan för att exekvera den här lanseringsplanen. Och ja, nu har jag varit inne på det, men användningen av kapitalet här, det är ju för att stärka balansräkningen och tillföra då rörelsekapitalet som vi behöver. Lanseringen av A to Glory för konsol är ju den största delen i det här, men vi kommer ju också att jobba vidare med de här lovande mobilspelen då. Så det är där vi står. Så tack för att ni har lyssnat.
Tack för det. Några korta frågor? Ja.
Hej, Peter heter jag. Jag undrar, ni skulle ju ha en förtjänst där 2020 på 25 miljoner om jag såg rätt. Var det bara på konsolspelen? Och andra frågan, får ni några pengar ifrån de här gratisspelen på något vis?
Jo, det var bara från konsolspelet. Att de siffrorna kommer ifrån. Och, I'll take it in English. The mobile games right now, we've been trying to build the audience as we've been using, especially A to Glory, as sort of a platform to advertise for PBR and get people to know about the console game. So there is monetization in there, and there's basically a big update coming in about a month where we'll add a bunch of engagement and monetization features in there. So right now it's not a ton of money. It's mostly ads, and we've been advertising for the PBR, for their sponsors as well. So we will start monetizing that and the fishing game. It's hard to say what the numbers will be. You know, we'll probably turn it up slightly since people have been used to playing without too many ads and without too much free to play, or you know, without too much being forcing them to buy stuff. But one of the main things we'll be adding is new content. So as we go forward, both the fishing game will be advertised at the PBR events, as well as A to Glory, and at the events itself, you get little codes and stuff so that people engage, and that's part of the engagement to try and get people to monetize in the games. So we're hoping for sort of a cross-platform basically so we can raise the level of monetizations in the game slowly over the next 2 quarters, if that makes sense.
Tack för det svaret. Ja.
Förvärvet av 8 Glory verkar ju ha skett till ett rimligt pris. Hur kommer det sig att visserligen du är amerikan och leder det här bolaget, man kan ju tycka att det borde finnas en hel drös av jänkare som ville köpa det här 8 Glory. Varför blev det inte så?
Yep, no, that's a great question. I mean, as I said, we sort of we came into it and we pushed really hard. So the company that first got it is a company that we work with for fishing called Rarity Investments, and it's called PBR Investments. It's owned by Jerry Schaubeck and a football player, this Jared Allen, an American football player. And they started basically where they bought and sold bulls for the PBR. It was their idea to make the game, and they hired someone who failed at making the mobile game. So they hired us to come in and fix the mobile game. And that's how we sort of made the contact with them. So after we made the mobile game, and we put a lot of effort into obviously having it be a good quality, so the score was high. And then when the score was high, then we started negotiating with both them and the PBR, and that's basically how we got the contract.
Okej, tack för det svaret. Vi går vidare i programmet. Vi tackar er. Ni är kvar här och kan svara på lite frågor, hoppas jag. Efter. Bra. Stort tack för att ni kom hit.